Hey guys, it's Zach with Us versus Herd, coming back today with another video. So what I want to talk about today is how you can find a career without going to school. Now, I've talked about it in the past that you don't need to go to college to succeed, but I really want to dive in deep on the whole idea of finding success and doing your own thing. And I think that's really important in today's society now than ever, because I think that we get so accustomed to being forced to do something we don't want to do, and that we don't really necessarily ever find what we truly want to do. We just do what other people have been laying on to us for so long. And being a part of the millennial age group, a group that I don't necessarily wholly identify with because they're kind of lazy. A lot of them are, I agree. Depending on where you stand, you could be entitled, or you could be lazy, or you could not work, or all three, want free stuff. I don't fall into that category. I believe that you should work for what you want, and you have to know what you want to do, though. And like me, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was going out of high school. I didn't really go, I hated school. I didn't want to go. I just want people to know that there are options out there for you. So what I'm going to talk about today is just a little brief video about how you can find your own lane and how you can develop yourself to fine tune your skills to doing something that you want to do. So for example, if you don't know what you want to do, the best advice I can give you is just to start doing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I started working at a Starbucks right when I got out of high school. I worked there for nearly 5 years. I became a supervisor. I realized that that's not the career path that I wanted to go down, because the time spent to the time paid just wasn't there. You work, if you get promoted to being a manager, you work maybe 40, 50, 60 hours, and you're getting paid 40 grand maybe. And if you work that out, that's really just, you're giving your life away for $40,000 a year, and that's just not enough in my opinion. So what I kind of took into my own hands is my understanding and my knowledge and learning and educating myself. Now, I'm not a fan of the traditional education system where you go to school, you get in a ton of debt, you pay a lot of money, and you don't really know where you're going. I'm more of a fan of self-teaching and self-developing. And if you don't have the ability to develop yourself or teach yourself, then find somebody, a mentor, someone who's doing what you want to do, and then you learn from them. For example, I wanted to learn how to do financials, how to trade, so I started reading up a ton about credit and how to, get a better credit score, how to build my credit responsibly, how to make a business, how to just develop your finances so that you'll be set up for the future, what you can do when you make $12,000 a year at a retail job, and how to grow that into something bigger. And I learned from a lot of different people. I had a lot of different mentors. So I think that you need to find someone who's doing what you want to do and learn from them. Find someone who's doing it as best as you know, and you learn from them. I also want to talk about, if trading as well. We do that on the channel quite a bit. That's primarily what this channel is used for. I want to kind of challenge the way that this channel has been growing, and I want to be able to come to you guys like this and just talk about certain things that are on my mind, and I want to tell you guys that you can make any difference in your life as long as you're willing to put in the work. You can make 100% difference. You can go from making $12,000 a year to $100,000 a year just like that. But you have to be willing to put in the work, and you have to be willing to put in the sacrifices. Now, I've been talking about this quite a bit in a lot of my videos, and I've been saying how that if you're willing to do the hard work, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to make mistakes, if you're willing to fail, if you give yourself permission to fail, then you're also giving yourself permission to succeed, because you cannot succeed without failing. I think that's important for people to understand, is that they see all these entrepreneurs like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone, and they're all doing their thing, and they're like, how did they get there? What steps did they take? I think we only see the good stuff and all the freedom they have. We don't see any of the hardships they have. We don't see that. They can talk about it, but we don't see it. They don't document that. That's not something that's on their vlogs. Okay, they talk about it, but they don't videotape it. You didn't see them when they're struggling. You didn't see them when they are just putting in the work year after year. We don't see that, and you don't see that, and I think that's important. I think that we should recognize that instead of just saying, "Oh, I want to be like Gary Vee." We have to understand that he didn't get there overnight. He worked year after year after year and developed and understood and educated himself, and he put in the time. And I think that that's something that most people are lacking. And he always says that, you're not patient enough. You're not patient enough, and you're not willing to fail. And once you fail, you quit. And if you don't try again or keep going, then what do you really have? Your whole life you're saying, I want to have the freedoms that entrepreneurs have, but you're not willing to put in the patience at the time. And I understand that. Not everyone has that ability, and that's okay. If then that's not for you, then go ahead, go to school, get a desk job, work 9 to 5, clock in, clock out. But just know that you'll have that safety. But just know that's all your life will ever be. And I really want more for you guys. I want more for everybody. I think that if we just think about it from a different perspective and say, I'm going to devote my time and my life to doing something, developing myself towards a future where I can have freedom. I don't have to go to the office every day when I'm 50 years old. I don't have to keep going to the office and working for a low salary, relatively low for what you could be getting if you put your time into doing other things. If you want to trade, you have to put in day out the time. You have to fail. You have to make losing trades. You have to make winning trades. You have to put in the work to research. And I really want to challenge the way you guys think today. Just think about where you're at and think about where you want to go, and ask yourself, don't tell yourself, I can't get from here to here. Say, if I'm working an hourly job and I want to have freedom and make, 6 figures, how can I get from here to here? Not, I can never get from here to here. Ask yourself, how can I get from here to here? And then make the adjustments. And I know you guys will do great. So if you like the video, comment, like, subscribe. We do appreciate your subscriptions. It really does help us to put out content and share with you guys our walk and what we're doing. And so, remember, it's always us versus hurt. So join us.